What we had recently was silver, I mean the USDC, we saw it depeg, and everyone was fearful, and now they say that they're going to back up the USDC. So just give me a few moments and I'll get right into it. We're going to look at Bitcoin and the rest of the market. For the past few days, we've seen Bitcoin pulled out. If we go to the hourly, we had a dump, and now we're having a pullback. This pullback is still not promising. Doesn't mean we're gonna go up, because looking at the 4 hourly chart or the 1 hourly chart, we can see we had 1, 2, and a possibly 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, possibly to complete the wave 3. So how deep can this go? This is what I'm looking at. If wave 4, the pump ended over here, 20,680, we could come as low as the 18.5 or even extend it further to the 17,212. But I have some levels of support I want you to be aware of. We have the point of control, which is going to be at 19.2. That will be at the 0.786 extension. This level over here, I'm looking at this to potentially see a reaction. If there's a reaction, then I could take a long, possibly a scalp long, because it's still a macro bearish environment. As long as we are below the 50 and the 200 EMA on the daily, still not good. Until we can reverse from that, then, or even on the weekly, we haven't reclaimed it on the weekly. Let's see where is the 50 on the weekly. On this chart, we would see the 200 as well on Bitstamp. The 200 EMA is right over here at the moment, around $25,018. So if we can't get above the 25,000, then I don't see us going anywhere to 30K. But once we get above the 25,000 and this short-term resistance of this downtrend we had over here, if I just bin all of this, if you look at this and we take it on the daily and we go to here and here, sorry, over here, if we can't get above this level of resistance, which at the moment on the daily chart for today it's at 22,400, then Bitcoin doesn't have much of a chance to go up. We need to reclaim that. Then obviously we have other levels. We have the 23,100, and then break above the 25,200. And then obviously the 50 and the 200 EMA on the weekly will be right there, sitting us right in front of our faces. So it doesn't really look that good, unfortunately. We are below the 50 EMA. We are below the 200 EMA on the daily. We weren't able to claim it. We are below a descending trend line. Essentially, that is bearish. You have 3 confluences of resistance. If you had that below you, then that would be a confluence to go long. If I have it above me, then if I pump to it, I will be definitely trying to get into another short. But yeah, that's those are the levels to the upside I'm watching. If say now the Bitcoin tonight, the weekly candle close could give us a spike up, possibly come up here, try to grab the liquidity from this high. Over here we might do something like this. Bitcoin could easily just During the weekly candle close, we go up, try to take yesterday's high, possibly spike up over here, only to bring it down faster. And then we'll do something like that. We could do something like that, maybe range a bit, and then drop. Now, I'm not saying we're definitely going down, but essentially trading volume profiles, you could see that when you get rejected at the fixed range volume profile value area high, you usually come down to the POC to retest it. And at the moment, we haven't retested it yet. We came so close, but we haven't. We don't have to, but we could. And this setup is a bearish setup on lower time frame. If this was a 5-minute time frame or 15-minute time frame, you'd wait for the retrace to the 50 EMA right around here, the 21.7 to 21.9 zone, to see a rejection to enter a short. So this is on a higher time frame. On the daily, if we come up here today, recovering this vector candle is very possible. We could pump to 21.7 only to get rejected, range around here and come down. But looking at my wave count, the Elliott wave count, we would like to just retrace maximum 0.5 fib of a third wave. So this is the third wave of the third. We come down here, and if we expand this, you could see that the almost perfect. I took it from the top of the third wave, because what I said is we had a 1, 2, and then the third wave coming down has a 1, 2, and a 3. Oh, sorry, the third wave would start over here, this high. Yeah. So far, we've retraced very close to the 0.382. We could come as high as a 21,100 and still be in a fourth wave retracement. And we'll be continuing lower to those targets. 19,100, 19.2 is my first target, 19.1. Value area low sits at 18.7. 18.5 is my next, 18.4, sorry, is my next zone of strong support for Bitcoin. Now, those are the targets to the low downside for resist support. I should mark them as green. To the upside, you have the 21.7 possibly, and the 22,433 for the descending trend line for today. Now, you could draw that trend line on your chart and keep an eye on it. Once you're above it, then you know possibly you could have a bounce further. Possibly 22.7 is a possibility. But yeah, the market is bearish. Let's see the RSI. Let's check out the RSI on higher time frames. If the RSI is oversold, where are we at with the RSI on the daily? We are at oversold. We could be just resetting to go further down. We haven't formed any bullish divergence yet on the daily. We may form one, but we haven't on the weekly. No bullish divergence yet. Was it the bearish divergence? We had bearish divergence RSI over here, lower highs, and we were forming higher highs on price. That's bearish divergence, and it brought us down on the weekly. Now on the daily, still we don't have any divergences. 4 hourly, do we have any bullish divergences? Looking at the 4 hourly, no bullish divergence yet. 1 hourly. So even on smaller time frames, you don't have any significant divergence. You have you close slightly higher over here, so you have a higher low. Over here you have a lower low, so that is hidden bullish divergence. You may get a pump. I expect more volatility tonight during the into and during the weekly candle close. We could really have some nice volatility, and we could see a spike up or a spike down during those times. And the rest of the indicators, well, not indicators, but what I like to call indicators, is the DXY. Essentially, the DXY has broken down this level. We're trying to maintain the 105. As you can see, we're just ranging here, and I'm pretty sure that would be a point of control. So take this to here. We're just here. This would be our point of control. For some reason, I can't get that on the DXY. Okay, we are having no bullish div on the 1 hourly, 4 hourly, daily. Not really, I can't see it. Weekly. Do we have any hidden bullish div? Any bullish div? Maybe we have from here higher lows and here lower lows in the RSI, and that's what gave us a bounce. You could say that, but really I can't see much over here. Stochastic RSI on BTC. Let's look at BTC again for stochastic RSI. However, the DXY, just going back to the DXY, we are in a macro uptrend on the weekly. This is, mind you, this is 2001, 2002. So we had a pullback and we're pumping back up. We're getting resistance. This is macro resistance. This was between October 2000 until February 2002. So it's really a macro resistance that you had for a long time. So if you can break that, it's going to be very bullish. We need to get above the 105 for the DXY, then 106, 108, 109, 111. This is my final, like the biggest resistance for now. That is if you are in a short trade, then you want the DXY to go up because it has an inverse correlation to the markets. The Nasdaq and the Dow Jones closed red for the week so far. Let's see how the weekly candle opens. This is on the weekly, so you can see the stochastics are crossing down on the weekly. Very big engulfing candle. On the daily, stochastic still has it was trying to come up but got rejected. So today we might find a gap up and a continuation. It depends on all the news that's coming out next week. I believe we have PPI data, and I'll take a look at it in a bit. On the 4 hourly, we are having a cross to the upside. That may give us some momentum to the upside. On the 1 hourly, same thing. So the 1 hourly and 4 hourly may give us a pump on when we open tonight. The Dow Jones, same thing. A strong curvature to the upside. 4 hourly, double bottom, may give us a bit of a move up. The Dow Jones closed differently than the Nasdaq. The Dow Jones, actually, this is the 4 hourly, sorry. So go back to the Dow Jones on the hourly, same thing. The ES 100, that's the S&P mini futures, had broke down below this descending trend line that we have from the all-time high. We broke back under, and if we look at the 1 hourly, we are above it, and the stochastics are crossing up. So could this next week be green? Maybe, but the traditionals did not see what's happening with the banks, Silicon Valley Bank and all that, so maybe they will react to that when they open. Now, looking at the news, what do we have for next week? Let's look at the calendar. Next week is going to be very interesting. Monday, so sorry, 12th of March, Sunday, nothing on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday we have the CPI, we have the CPI year on year, we have the core CPI. These are big market movers. That's the 14th of March. 15th of March, another busy day. PPI, core retail sale, Empire State Manufacturing Index, PPI, retail sales. And then I think on the 23rd or 21st, let's look. So that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, nothing for us. So the euro. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, consumer sentiment is also an indicator. Then the week after, on the 21st of March, we have the Fed funds rate, FOMC economic projection, FOMC statement, FOMC press conference. 22nd of March will be a big day. So the next 2 weeks, this week, incoming week, and the week following will be big days for the markets. There'll be good volatility after a long time of just ranging around and having some boring price action. So yeah, so I expect volatility. We might get a bit of up movement. We might get that relief rally to those Bitcoin targets. Going to Solana. Solana came perfectly to the anticipated target. I said that Solana could come down to the $16 range and possibly lower. Now, our resistance, if we get a pump tonight, you can see this zone, 18.343 is an important zone. Go back in time and you can see it's always a rejection point or a support zone. We have the POC that we could come as low as that. If you watched my previous videos of Solana, I mentioned where it would be very concerning. I mean, we could come as low as a $12 range and Solana can still be in some sort of a bullish setup. Unfortunately, it would go that low and we still can't say that we're going to tank to zero, because that will just be the 0.786 retracement, anticipating a 1 up, a 2 down, and moving in a bigger 3. So you need to be aware, even if you come to the $11.9 range, you're still in bullish territory on the macro. However, the macro is bearish, but I mean the macro, if you know what I mean. It's like if the bottom is in over here, when we hit the $7-8 range, then we could have a 1 and a 2 down that could come to $12 and a bigger move up. So that's for Solana. Above us is a 18.343 resistance for tonight. We have daily resistance over here. This level, 18.064 is our daily resistance, significant zone. Pumping up would take us to another resistance if we can even get there, 20.947. So say the $21 range is our next important. So weekly RAS, daily RAS, and a level that I've had a horizontal level of support resistance for a long time for Solana. Ethereum, on the other hand, one more thing for Solana, I just want to see some targets. POC. Let's look at smaller time frames to see reactions. What happened here? So one good thing for Solana, we broke out of this Fibonacci channel. This is on the 4-hourly. We broke out of it, and it could act as support. However, we could come as low. If we're going to test it today, it could take us down to 13.3. So these were on higher time frames. I drew them on higher time frames. So on the 4-hourly, it looks so far away. That's Solana. Ethereum, on the other hand, is below the value area high. POC is at over here 12.15. So that's way down there, but we could get to the $1,200 range. It's very possible. It's not looking so bullish for the market. Value area high would bring us up to the 1,560 for Ethereum. Quant, Litecoin have been doing just what I predicted. My targets have been hit. Support broke below support. For 2 days we were like sort of under, and we're bouncing off that level of 114. To the upside, I have the 147, but I know the 133 is a zone of interest. I haven't marked it out, but that zone, 131 to 133, is a resistance level for Quant. If we lose the 114, we could easily come to the 101 away. We are in a descending channel that is essentially a bullish setup. And we are making a 1, 2, 3 or an ABC. It could come lower. I mean, we could see it clearly. You have one wave here, the second wave came up here, and we might come down. You hit the 1-to-1 target. If it's an ABC, then that's fine. The A and C can be the same length. But you could come as low as a 1.618 at $88. That could be your next target. The top of the channel, if it's going to stop getting rejected at the mid of the channel, the top of the channel for today is at 132. So if we're respecting this channel, we could do one, come up here, down there, and bounce off and hit it maybe at 126 to 132, somewhere at that range. Let's see a fixed range volume profile for this. Let's pull a fixed range volume profile and see this. We are below the POC. That's not good. Got rejected there yesterday. Will we make it today, or going to come down to the value area low? We'll have to wait and see. And we are looking at quant Litecoin. Litecoin has been respecting the levels. I mean, at the moment we are at the lowest level that I gave. I had the $73 range. Next, looking left on the daily, obviously this zone, $64 range, then followed by this low where we bounced off $61 range, then we're coming lower, 56. As long as we're above the $60 range, we're fine. But now I'll give you a fib retracement, something to be aware of. This move down was very impulsive, telling me it's probably a third wave down and we'll have a fourth wave relief. Yeah, so getting below the 54.39 is going to be super bearish for Litecoin. I mean, 54 super bearish, 47 even worse. We might be coming down to the $20 to $25 range for Litecoin. Just going on the weekly and looking at this, it's very possible. Very possible. Now looking at this, we had a very bad week for Litecoin, and going to smaller time frames, looking at that move down, let's look at the daily. If we look at the daily, we could say we had a one down and then a wave 2 that did a shallow retracement. I can't expect a wave 2 to do that shallow. That's very shallow, 0.382. I don't like that. Unless we say this was a 1-2, we had an expanded beef pocket ABC. No, it's not anymore because we broke down. So there might be an ABC here that overshot, but I doubt it. I might need to go to a smaller time frame for more clarity. Okay, over here. So we could say we had an A over one that was started over here, ended over here, and we retraced just above the 0.382. I still don't like that, but it is possible unless the 1-2 was this. We had a 1 down, a 2 up. It went to the 0.5 fib. Okay, that's acceptable. Then I can project where the third wave could end if it's over. So I go from here, the length of the 1, take it to the peak of the 2. My wave 3 has come all the way below the 1.618. So that's uber bearish. Now, if you want to say wave 3 is over, if we assume that wave 3 is done, then wave 4 can come and take us. Just to let you know where you could anticipate a rejection and a follow through to the downside, wave 4 can bring you up to 81.86 if wave 3 is done. Say $82. So if wave 4 comes to 0.236 at around $73, and then the next zone is a 0.38277, So 73, 77, 73, 78, and $82 range is a zone to see if Litecoin will get a rejection. If it does, then you'd expect this to move in three waves. Say it came all the way to $82. With a weekly candle close, it might come here to 73 or 77. Just watch for the reaction on smaller time frames for Doji or Shooting Star. Then you would expect wave 5. Now, if we say wave 4 was very bullish, and wave 4 comes all the way up to $82, then we can project where wave 5 can end. So we take the length of wave 1 and you put it over the wave 4 anticipated peak, and wave 5 can come to the 1-to-1 or the 1.618, $66 to $56, and we have confluence at $56. That's for Litecoin. Another coin I want to show you that another thing I wanted to highlight is how do you exploit the chart? How do you decide to take a trade? What do you need to see for beginners? You could use many methods. I've been using lately the Fibonacci, the volume profile, and it's been working very well. So you see this top range over here. This is on Liquidity token, and I pulled a fixed range volume profile for this entire range I have here, and I have the POC value area high, value area low. So once I saw price coming all the way to my value area high over here, once I see price getting up there, I already have my alert set and I can see price coming there. Obviously, if you pull this fixed range volume profile on the daily time frame, when you go to smaller time frames, it will disappear unless you scroll like that. So what I do is I take a horizontal ray and I mark it at the levels and I write POC value area high. Now I go to the 5-minute time frame and I look at price as it's pumping. I'm watching it, and now I'm watching. We get up there and we get sort of a rejection. We get a shooting star and we start stalling out. I could enter right here, take a risky trade just because I saw that wick, or I can wait for the 5 and 13 EMA to cross down below the 50 and I get in there. And you could ride it down. You see you bounce back up, but now you're going back down. At the moment you're getting some support at the POC. If you were a scalper, you would get in again at the POC, go long while still keeping your short open, because there's a possibility it might reverse to the downside and continue lower. Taking profit along the way is important. Of course, if you have a small account, then if you're trading with $15, then you wouldn't want to, that will give you a profit of maybe $5, and you wouldn't want to take the profit $5. You would want to wait for bigger gains, but you could trade slowly and build your account from there. Now this coin, I'm still in a trade in it and I'm waiting for it to break the lows. It might not break the lows, but on the 5-minute we are sort of curling up and we're trying to break the 50. So maybe this is a time I should consider to take profits and come out. However, I moved my stops into profit so I can sleep and not worry about it. Another coin is EOS. It's been doing some interesting moves. You could exploit EOS as well. Just trying to show methods of exploiting the chart. You could do it using fixed range volume profile, Fibonacci retracement and extension level. Look at this move over here. If I was not in the trade, I would be looking at this and saying we are going to break down. It's very overlappy, and at the moment it seems we're coming to break those lows. So that's something I'm looking at. Yeah, if you like the update, you could hit the likes and be kind. Subscribe to the channel, and if you really like to support the channel, then link is in the channel description and in the video description. I'll see you in the next one.